Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV, and hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. I am Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is the United Kingdom news and culture. And we've got an incredible team here with us today. Let's welcome Diann, Floyd, Boehm, and her friend, Flat Stanley. Hello.
Correct. Flat Stanley's with us today.
And welcome Simon Macdonald. And welcome to Helena Chard and Ian Pelham Turner. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Stanley.
Thank you. Hello.
Have we got rotund Laurel to go with Flat Stanley then?
He's rusting eating chips.
Well, there's a lot that's going on in the world. Obviously, we've got a lot to cover, and we definitely want to have some fun on this show, but we also have serious topics to discuss as well. So what I'd like to do is just go around. I'm going to spotlight each of you, and if you can share a little bit about your backstory and what the United Kingdom means to you. We'll start with Diann and Flat Stanley.
The United Kingdom, this show to me means an awful lot for various reasons. One, most importantly, is for people to understand geography, to understand the beautiful people of the United Kingdom, and to understand how much the United States and the United Kingdom are really brothers and sisters in our relationship. Thank you.
Thank you, Diann. And we'll go over to Helena and Ian.
Hi guys, so here we are. At the moment, I mean, gosh, I've known Ian for years and years and years, and we have a background in photography, mainly journalism, and we are journalists with various, well, internationally really. At the moment, we're covering a lot of Ukraine and Russia, and we just really enjoy doing what we do. There's lots more I could go into, but I'm not going to talk about myself, so. And you can talk about yourself, Ian, if you wish.
Well, what can I say about myself? I think the reality is that what we're doing now, what we're attempting to do, is highlight the values of Britain and America, and creating bridges between the two of us, which I think are very, very important right now. It's proved to be even more important in the past couple of weeks because we're uniting right across the world against this aggression at the moment, but it's also important as well because basically we're coming out of different issues at the moment, whether it's COVID or whatever is happening in our lives. And the more we can actually talk, speak, and actually contribute and communicate with each other, the better.
Very well said. Thank you. And by the way, before we go over to Simon, I just want to thank the two of you. You bring the best clips. That Earthshot Prize I play over and over, and people from around the world, I watch their faces and they're just, it brings everybody in. It really draws people together. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Right. Thank you.
And let's go over to Simon.
Oh, here I'm up in the wilds of Scotland as usual. It's another typical West Highland day. The rain is coming down in bucket loads. In fact, I'm not sure, is it the rain that's coming down or is it the tide that's coming down? There's an awful lot of water falling today. But we've always had strong affinity with both sides of the pond, with America as well. In actual fact, next week I'm going to be in Boston at the Boston Seafood Expo. So really looking forward to getting that. Just working my way through a minefield of paperwork to get there, but it will be worth it in the end. So if anybody watching the show today are in the vicinity of the Boston Seafood Expo next week, please come along. You can't miss me. I will have full Highland regalia on as well. So definitely no sign you're going to miss me there.
I truly wish I was there to welcome you. I really do. It'd be so much fun. But I'm down here in Florida, so it's not going to be happening. All right, so we've got a lot to cover today. I'm going to turn over to Helena to share any of the latest news that you want to share, and then we'll go around.
We do have lots of news, but still predominantly what's in the news is Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So we cannot forget about this, and myself and Ian are doing lots of reporting on the various channels. So just to say a little bit about it, but obviously to keep it light as well. So I'm going to start with, 14 days of devastation, but 14 days of humongous resilience. And I think I want to start, Dr. Jacalyn, love and life, so he finds a way. And there's so much hope on the Ukrainian front line. And I think we've got a clip, and it's a clip of a couple that have been together for over 20 years, and they tie the knot. They have tied the knot recently. They're in Ukraine, they are on the front line, they are in their military attire, but you know, they love each other, and it's really quite moving. And I think it would be good to show that to begin with, and it gives us an idea of what's going on. They invited the media in, and the reason being, and this is probably the moral here, is there is so much value in a story that raises morale. And I think as journalists, we can understand that is so important at this time.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. It brought me to tears, actually.
Єдничого, святе подружжя, владою церкви святої православної, благословляючим я. І Ларисі життя мирне, довгі літа, непорушність любові, спокою.
Звичайно, я щаслива перш за все, тому що ми живі, цей день почався, мій чоловік живий, він зі мною, і ми вирішили, так порадилися і вирішили, що раптом що буде завтра, і ми хочемо скріпити наш шлюб перед державою і перед Богом. Так, у нас є доросла донька, і я думаю, що вона щаслива з цього нашого кроку.
Але всім серцем вона тут, та ще й на відеозв'язку.
Wow.
Wow, that's
What matters.
So moving.
And I think I mean, basically at the moment, what is two things. First of all, yes, it's morale raising. It's also trying to show that life still goes on. And Lichenko, who was the former heavyweight champion of the world, helped to preside on the marriage ceremony itself. And apparently there is something in Ukraine where the bride and groom wear crowns normally when they are, going to get married. They wear a crown each, and because there were no crowns, the people around them put their steel helmets over their heads instead. So even at a time like this, humor, values, and joy still remain in Ukraine at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Great points. It's kind of like a tightrope, I feel, of managing your emotions, because there's so much stress and concern and worry and fear, and yet you have to go on. I know last night I put together a little video. I found this Gazelle exercise equipment in the garage, and I just thought, wow, it's so amazing that I found this, because it's been here for 15 years. And I debated, like, should I put it out there? And I thought, you have to, because we have to find self-care also.
That's right, and I think it's very important right now that we all live in a very privileged world, I feel. And I think the reality is that when we see things like this, we need to talk about them, we need to demonstrate against them. And one of the best forms of demonstrating against all that's happening are shows like this now that can actually really talk about it and show that, who is ever watching right across the world, we care.
Absolutely. Also, I mean, there's lots of different things. They all knit together, really, so it doesn't really matter what order we do them in. But there's a young lady called Mariska Padalko, and she is just outside Kyiv. She has 3 children and her husband. She is basically the main correspondent for Ukraine. The 4 channels, TV channels and networks have, joined together, which is a great idea. And she is the person that when there is an air raid or something happens, it goes to her. So when electricity is cut off or in the midst of filming in different areas, she is in her bunker and she is there 100% of the time, 24/7. She's not with her children, not with her husband. They've moved to more safe grounds. And I think what was so inspiring about her, I mean, gosh, it was such a strong woman that she misses her children and her husband, but she's there for her country. She was so thankful to she's so thankful to everybody in Great Britain for all their support. And I sometimes think that, it's always good to walk the walk rather than talk the talk, but everyone in Ukraine is thankful for any bit of support. So even Ian's wearing the blue and yellow tie, but we have all of our main buildings here, and they are all blue and yellow at the moment in support for Ukraine. Obviously, there was a fantastic speech that Zelensky gave last night to the House of Commons. There was a huge standing ovation from our British Parliament, although I have to say I've got something else to say about that, but that in her eyes was huge support. And they are so thankful because it gives hope. So the smallest of things, even if it's tweets or Instagram, anything, showing that we stand by Ukraine means a hell of a lot to them. And the thing that, again, getting to the main point, she said, and this was today, she said, 15 days ago, she said, I was thinking, oh goodness, I think I better put on a bit of weight. I think I might be looking a little bit old, and looking into her summer holiday. So she was saying to us in Great Britain, UK, to just think about your life, think about our life, think about what we've got, and just don't let go of that, because in a nanosecond, things can change. So we've just got to keep that. It's appreciating every day in your life, and I suppose your loved ones. And I felt so moved by it, because it's so true, isn't it? We get all carried away with certain things, and we can think about all these small little things that actually pale into insignificance. But really, when it comes down to it, again, it's that love prevailing. But I mean, so strong, incredibly strong. And also, we've had lovely little clips that have gone viral, and I think probably people have seen them around the world, but I just still think it's lovely to show, because it shows hope. And I know, Dr. Jacalyn, we have the clip of Amelia, a young girl who's 7 in Ukraine, and during this period she was in the bunker with lots and lots of people around her, and her mother pushes her to try and sort of like cheer up the troops in a way, gets her to sing, and she's a little bit reticent to begin with, but she sings her rendition of Let It Go from Frozen, and it's beautiful, and the real it's just let it go as well. It in itself is such a strong statement, so I think we should play that as well.
А теперь она решила исполнить вам песню для поднятия боевого духа. Амелия Анисович.
Все шумят.
Сейчас все не будут шуметь. Можно немножечко тишины?
Не открывай, храни секрет. Будь хорошей девочкой для всех. Закрой все чувства на замок, навечно отпусти и забудь, что прошло уже не вернуть. Отпусти и забудь, новый день он кажет путь. Не боюсь ничего уже, пусть бы шум ничто, холод всегда мне был по душе, а я иду все выше на ледяную власть, и страха не вернувшись, меня уж не догнать. Пора узнать, что я могу, на помощь призову к себе во льдах. Навечно отпусти и забудь, что прошло уже не вернуть. Отпусти и забудь, новый день он кажет путь.
Браво, браво, умница! Умница!
I love that. Oh,
And it's the smile on her face afterwards, isn't it? What really gets you onto something like that. And I think it's I've worked a lot with East European communities, and the things I see about the children, they're very resilient. And even in times of stress, they are very resilient at the same time. And I think it gives us hope. But the one thing I would say as well is that obviously America is extremely important as well in everything that we're doing. And so to actually, I think, the politicians that we are listening to, they're saying that America is just as important as Britain and the rest of Europe and places like Poland to actually do what we're doing right now, and the support. And in Britain, I think we've one of our charities has raised £100 million in about 4 days. So it just goes to show that the kindness and the support of everybody is very important right now.
Absolutely. And Simon, I think you were sharing something about that before we started the show.
Yes, I've actually just been handed a note just now by my wife, who's been watching things unfold over there. And as we've been on air and just shortly before, the Russians have bombed a large children's and maternity hospital, completely destroyed it, and it was full. So this doesn't get any easier at all. It's a terrible, terrible tragedy that's going on and is affecting all of the world. And words fail you when you get a report like that coming in. Absolutely awful.
Heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking.
When you listen to things like that, I think it's what can you say? It's one of the situations.
Words really fail me. It's not unusual for words to fail me, but it is just it's unbelievable. Humanity has gone wild. The lovely things that come out of it, even in deepest adversity, you get these little absolute gems which are magnified, like that little girl singing, such a beautiful voice, and she was really singing from her heart. And the couple getting married, and the battlefield. I mean, these things. It's so important. It keeps us sane, keeps the people out there sane, keeps the morale going as well, gives everybody a sense of purpose. Because when you hear things of maternity and children's hospitals getting bombed, then all the sensibility and sanity just goes out of it altogether. These little nuggets, the girl singing and the couple getting married, just brings us back together again.
It does. I mean, what I would say, which is a little bit of good news, is Amelia is now safe. She is out of the bunker. She's now with her brother outside Ukraine. So that's good news.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, hats off to Poland and Hungary and Moldova and these countries who've been taking in, I mean, it's now into millions of refugees fleeing the country, wondering if they'll ever have anything to go back to. And I'm actually somewhat embarrassed by and ashamed of the UK government getting themselves bogged down with the paperwork. And last night had only signed off 50 visas. Now, Poland and all the other countries, they've sort of said, look, don't worry about visas. Come in. You're going to be safe here. And here we are insisting they have visas for it. I mean, where's the sense in it? Bring them in. Let's get them safe. That's the most important thing. People have to be safe. These people, they didn't ask for any trouble. They didn't ask for any bother. They were driven out of their homes, driven out of their country. And, we have to show compassion to them.
And I have to say, I think Scotland is leading the way as well. Prime Minister's question time today. The SNP was saying that Scotland was open. But obviously, at the moment, because of the criteria that the Home Office in Britain is putting on any visa application, it's stopping them doing so. But it shows you the difference, the real difference between Scotland and England. Scotland cares.
Yes. Oh, I mean, we don't wear woad anymore. We're a friendly lot here. Most of us. We'll do anything for anybody that comes in with a bottle of scotch for us. I mean, that's fine.
The other thing that I have to sort of say that I thought, I'm listening to, because obviously it was International Women's Day yesterday. Helen and I celebrated it. But the thing that really got to me, so did Putin. Putin did a broadcast celebrating, International Women's Day yesterday. He did a broadcast for women. Now, okay, well, the news we've just heard, that building, hopefully people got out, but that building was full of women, babies, and children.
Yeah.
How is that celebrating International Women's Day? I mean, it beggars belief.
It's just heartlessness. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And I mean, I think even Second World War standards, that wouldn't have happened. It's just really, really taken it that step too far. But then we're in a situation now, what can we actually do about it? Because, if any of our other countries start to get involved now, any NATO country starts to get involved, then the world has a seriously big problem. We've got a problem just now with it, but, how far can this be allowed to escalate? So we do have to sort of throttle back and, and think of our future, of the future for everybody. The future for this show as well, for that matter.
I did heir that. I did hear that some of the Russian military, so correct me if I'm wrong, they have either said just turned themselves in and didn't want to fight and just. I mean, they're not wanting to do this, some of them. So I can't even imagine the ones that have dropped the bombs on that hospital. I would like to think they had a heart and think, what have I just done? And they're going to have to live with that for the rest of their lives. And I'm devastated that they would even think of doing. I mean, what is the point? Those people did nothing to them. So I'm lost for words.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's just hard to absorb that kind of atrocity. But I mean, if you look at even on the streets of Russia, the number of protesters that are there saying, this war is not right, this is totally wrong. And of course, they're getting beaten up and arrested and sent away, probably won't see them again. But the Russians themselves are against this. It's he's really got to think again or he's actually just got to think, yeah, putting it mildly. So there's no easy answer to this one. It's come as a shock, but at the same time, all the signs were there. It's been building up and building up and building up. But I don't think anybody actually thought that come the day, then he would actually march into Ukraine. But there we are. We have it. Now the Atomic Energy Authority or Atomic Industry Authority, they're showing concerns about the power stations that the Russians have taken over, the well-being of the staff that are working there, et cetera, et cetera. So there are so many other concerns that just coming out of this. So, you know, there's a lot to happen yet.
There's a lot. There's a huge amount. But I mean, I think the support and the spirit and the generosity of people over here and internationally is huge. So many people giving. We've got so many people driving, literally driving. I mean, from students through to people in different situations who are driving into Ukraine, rescuing people, bringing them back, taking in supplies, whether it be blankets, medication, various things. So people are doing hugely amazing things, far more than our government. So, you know, at least that's something that.
Yeah. I think we've got to take some faith, and a lot of faith in the words of the great and late Captain Sir Tom, when he says, "Tomorrow will be a better day." Oh, please, let's hope so.
Yes.
Hope so.
I was just thinking, Jacalyn, it might be an idea. We've got another clip as well, which has been released today, and it's soldiers in the Ukraine, and they're protecting the Opera House in Odessa, and they're actually playing a tune which is we all probably remember, which is "Don't worry, be happy," and it's the spirit, you know, and the strength, obviously, that comes through this is great. So it might be good to play it.
Well, I felt like I should be walking around with a hat.
Yeah, another one of those just lovely moments to sort of break the tension somewhat. And yesterday as well, I mean, you know, you'll have seen it in the Parliament in Westminster when we had Vladimir Zelensky came on and addressed our Parliament, and immediately everybody was on their feet. The standing ovation and a huge round of applause, unheard of in our Parliament. He was so well received, and he gave a wonderful speech there as well. And it was just an immediate total unity of our Parliament. I mean, all their you know, misgivings of each other's party were just completely laid aside at that precise moment. It was a lovely moment.
You're quite right, and I think the reality again, it's I think it was shown across the world, you know, and at the moment that's what we're talking about. You know, that I think all of us on this side of the water feel we are not doing anywhere near enough in Britain. And I know Scotland, wants to do far much more. I think, I just feel at the moment that there's a lot of political issues over allowing refugees into Britain. And I think it's a political decision. I don't think it's a decision of the people themselves at all. It's, we seem to be dragging our feet constantly as well. I don't know what Helena thinks on that.
Oh yeah, you know what I feel. I feel very disappointed in the fact that, well, we could go on talking about it. I was hoping that something would be done today that would be allowing more people in. But I feel there's something that we don't know at the minute. That's what I'm feeling. But I don't know, to be quite honest. It's just disappointing. We just, we want to say, yay, it's a Great Britain, United Kingdom, but we don't feel like that at all. We feel disappointed, and it's not fair after all these people have spent a lot of time, travelling, etc. But moving on, another thing I heard as well is I think they are going to go through with it, that they're going to call, so where the Russian embassy is here in London, they're going to actually name the road Zelensky, so the road that the embassy, which is great. He's a huge hero, isn't he? I think everywhere, and that speech that he gave was fantastic. But I think moving on, and this is something as well related to what you said earlier, Dr. Jacalyn, about how you, I think, taken some time out for yourself. We can talk about that again, but we have a clip which is it's something that's just been released. It's called although it was, I think some of it was shot in 2021 actually, but it's sort of come out now. It's called Take a Moment, and it's a photographer that's partnered with the Art of London. It's actually a mental health campaign, but Take a Moment, I think, is something that you have done recently, Dr. Jacalyn. If we play the clip, and then it's something we can also discuss.
All right, let's take a look.
Take a moment. Take a moment. Take a moment.
Take a moment. Take a moment.
Take a moment.
Take a moment.
Take a moment.
Take a moment.
Take a moment.
Take a moment.
Take a moment.
Take a moment.
So I've had the privilege of photographing some incredible people over the years, and during each shoot I've asked the subject to close their eyes and take themselves to a peaceful place just for a few seconds. I've found that this really helps to refresh the energy between the camera and the subject. They had an energy that was quite special and quite different from the rest of the shoot. The collection grew, and now it feels the right time to use it for something good. I think it'd be amazing if we could help to raise awareness and involve people in the discussion about mental health. So what we're asking to do is for everyone to upload their own self-portraits. All of these portraits will become part of a massive artwork. I'm really excited to see this project go from hundreds of pictures to thousands of pictures. Essentially, an ever-evolving artwork that says we're all in this together.
Close your eyes and take a moment.
I just love that. It's
sorry, apologies, Jacalyn.
No, I was just going to say it's so important, and it seems so simple, but yet we get so caught up in everything that we actually forget to do it until our health goes down the tubes physically or mentally. And I just think that was so well done the way it was put together. And I love the idea of people all over the world uploading their photographs and having it be a continuously evolving project.
I think it's really great. I can't remember, the photographer's name's Ray, and I can't quite remember his name, but obviously all the people that you saw there, they're very well known here in Great Britain, United Kingdom, and that was the ambassador as well of Mind, the mental health charity that we saw there. Gosh, I just temporarily forgotten his name. Goodness me, he's so famous here. What's his name, guys? The ambassador.
Ray, and last name begins with a B, I think.
No, I'm talking about the ambassador of Mind over here.
Yes.
He's Stephen Fry. He's also featured in there. He's huge here. He's a very, very clever chap. But yeah, it's great. And the whole thing about take a moment is very clever, because obviously shutting your eyes, etc. It's also doing things that you enjoy. So in the stress of life, you just take yourself off. So you may be reading a book, you could be gardening, you could be doing yoga, just having a nap. So in that moment where you're taking a moment, it's doing something that you wish to do. And it reminded me of Jacalyn, of you. I saw that clip of you looking very fit on your, I don't know what it's called. And
it's called a gazelle.
A gazelle. Amazing. And it seemed to be going all over the place. You were very strong to do that. Goodness me.
Well, I actually purchased it for my dad when he wasn't feeling well and he couldn't get out really and do things. And I said, Dad, here, it's right here. You could just, and he started out slowly. And I think it really helps keep him going for a while. So again, it's all about taking that moment.
Yeah.
I think I do it naturally anyway. I think I seem to take a nap most afternoons now. The trouble with me is that I can't do things like that, because if I close my eyes, that's it. My brain says, okay, you're shutting down now, go to sleep. It's just this automatic reaction that I have to anything like darkness. If the number of times I've fallen asleep in a theatre or in a cinema and then wake up about halfway through a production, and even with musicals. So I tend to go to musicals more these days, purely because it keeps me awake more.
Well, that's a good thing that you don't have a problem falling to sleep and staying asleep, because a lot of people do.
Especially as you don't have a problem snoring once you've fallen asleep. I've experienced that firsthand. Not with my snoring, I hasten to add, but with somebody with a row or two just out of arm's reach behind me in the theatre, and really, big time. And you're sort of turning around and trying to sort of throw bits of paper into the wide open mouth and attempt to muzzle them. Yeah.
True confession, Simon.
Yes, take a moment while I turn around and smack you. Please.
I guess you guys will not be going to the cinema together to any musicals.
I just want to share on that take a moment. What I love about it is that it's so true. If something's like really gnawing at us and we have these moments where we're doubting ourselves, or we think someone thinks this about us and therefore we must and you can talk yourself down a horrible rabbit hole. And if you just take a moment and just close your eyes, like he's saying, this refreshness that takes place can almost recenter you. And that's what I just wanted to share. I really love the program, and thank you for telling us about it.
Oh, thank you. I was just thinking of something I heard as well earlier. Ian's very lucky that he can sleep very well, but apparently you can refresh yourself. I don't quite know how this would work out, but apparently if you're feeling groggy, apparently 90 minutes sleep after being up and doing things for 8 hours completely refreshes you. It really lifts you. But I don't know how many people probably could be in that situation, because we maybe would be broadcasting, so we couldn't just fall asleep. So I don't know. But it's interesting if you ever had a day off and you can't.
That's true. That's why siestas are so important in some cultures, and so I really honor siestas. But Dr. Jacalyn, what did we used to call it when you would do was it called a power nap, and you laid flat against the wall, your bottom, and then you put your legs up, and then you just did like a 5-minute power nap? And it really refreshed you too, because your blood's going the opposite way. Like, that's healthy.
I think I would call that amazing.
That's also one of the poses in yoga for people that, you know, to get you ready to go up into a headstand or a handstand, just to get used to having your legs up over your head. And it's also good for your blood pressure. I think it helps to lower it. Let's all try it now. What do you think? We'll start with Ian.
Well, I think the trouble is, you know, with my body, I'd probably get stuck. But the thing that I use, and a tip to share, because I know you love having tips to share on this program as well, is iron tablets. Now, I went to one of our health stores a few years ago and said I wasn't sleeping very well, and that when I woke up, I still didn't feel as if I had had a good night's sleep. They gave me an iron tablet. I used to take an iron tablet. I still do most nights. And you can have even just a few hours sleep, and you wake up so refreshed. And
What dosage do you take?
Oh, I don't know. It's
you have to be careful. You can't have
you can't have too much iron.
Too much iron is a problem.
It's the first 15 to 20 minutes of your sleep. That's the really important one. This is where the whole concept of power napping comes in. That it's those few minutes to start with. Then you wake up refreshed, exactly as Diann was saying. And I mean, I had to do this, and you can discipline yourself into doing it. When I was at sea up in the Arctic, then I had to fall into this pattern where I could take 5 minutes of a nap on my seat in the bridge of the ship, and then wake up refreshed, and that would keep us going on, because some of these shouts we did might last 72 hours or more. So you had to have just these little quick sort of 5-10 minutes. You just complete switch off and then switch on again and go for it. After 48 hours, it gets a bit wearing, though, I can tell you. You're disciplined to it.
You know, when I was in the classroom as an educator, instructor, and I could see my students were getting, tired, one or two things might happen depending on the time of day. And we're speaking elementary. I would just have them either lay their head down and everyone be very quiet, and we would just have a couple of minutes where they could just rest, and then we were ready to start school again. The other thing I might do if it's a cold winter day is we would run in place just to kind of re-wake them up, and then they were ready to go again. And so even for young children, I try to instill in them that there are moments that you just need to take a moment and get started again. Oh, look, I said take a moment. There you go.
Diann, they're good tips. I remember I was in a classroom, I think it was for my master's degree, and I was really tired because I worked all day and then I had to drive there, and I literally completely passed out. I had my hand like this and my chin fell and hit the desk, and I whipped back and I went, "What's going on?" And the teacher's like, "I think you need to get some more sleep." Oh, it's funny. But Helen, I know we have another clip, which is, I think since we are lightening up a little bit, that we have to. I would love for people to see this as well, this movie clip.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I mean, Catherine Tate is, she's a sort of comedian, I guess, as well, an actress. She's very well known here. She's very funny. And she plays lots of different characters, but one of her characters is literally called Nan. So this is a clip. It's the trailer for a new movie that's just out here, and it's the Nan movie. So let's play it.
My name is Nan.
Yeah.
From London town.
What?
You got a problem?
Yeah.
I'll take you down. 2 for 1 on Jaeger bombs. I'm violent, angry, dangerous.
you thinking about now?
Hold on. This don't look like Coventry. Everyone's orange.
It's Liverpool, Nan.
Oh, have a look.
You're illegally parked across 3 disabled bays.
I've got 3 disabled badges.
You shouldn't have 3.
And yet I do. Riddle me that.
I'll go and have a word with
Now, leave off. I'll deal with this. Now listen up, millennials.
Where's my Nan?
It's like being on the moon, isn't it, eh? Are we on the moon?
It's still Liverpool, Nan.
I love your Nan.
Nan?
Useless. No stamina.
You don't want to see Nell, that's fine, but I'd like to meet her.
Yeah, all right. But after we've had a quick drink, eh? Proper Guinness.
Guinness, it's 9 a.m.
When in Rome. Straight out.
Unstoppable.
Oh,
I love it.
I can't wait to see it.
Does anyone know how the movies actually go? Like, how do they get to the States, or they start in the States and they like, what does that whole process look like?
I think it was. I think this one will definitely start here. It's a very
England.
British one. Catherine Tate's very British. She's
Well,
so funny.
I think
It will move over there.
she's probably done in America as well, because there's a lot of, I mean, things like BBC America now are exporting a lot to America anyway. But at the same time, it's that you see how she normally looks when she's replaying when she's a young girl. That's how she normally looks. And I mean, the bleep machine, when she comes on, she does a lot of interviews, late night interviews, I might say as well. And the bleep machine is going mad, because when she's in character, she tends to swear a lot, you know, to sort of say the least. You know, so I think that when they did the movie trailer, they probably only could find about 3 minutes out of a 2-hour movie. Then they didn't have to bleep something. So I suspect that's why you're seeing what you're seeing.
It was very funny. I love when she had the, what are they called? Pipe, those, when she said hashtag whatever with those pipe.
Oh yeah, she was making them.
Straws.
Straws.
Colored straws.
Yeah, that was
funny. My favorite line was in that clip anyway, was like, "Listen up, you millennials." Millennials, I mean.
Yeah, we all sort of need that, don't we? That's just silliness.
Yeah, that was great.
So
the thing is, in a sort of exaggerated way, it's actually quite typical, isn't it? Really, in an exaggerated way.
Do tell us more.
She
wasn't me. I'm just trying to think about my Nan now. Yes.
She apparently based the character on a relative, but she didn't say who. But you know, and it's I mean, when you watch something like that, it is right now, as Simon was saying, and also, we need something as well to actually stimulate us as well, because I think I personally got caught up in this Ukraine thing, you know, and it seems to have taken over, you know, the whole of how I'm thinking about it. So it is important to come out of that as well, and to know that to sympathise totally with what's going on, but also the only way that we can really support and move forward is to actually have that positive attitude as well, that we can help and we will help.
Yes, absolutely. And just a personal share for me, I know this might sound crazy, but even during the day, I'll just stop and I'll just say, thank you for my hearing. Thank you for my sight. Thank you for this roof over my head. That there's so many things to be grateful for. And I just know that as whatever is going on in this house versus whatever's going on in the world, there are things that we just take for granted. And I'm not going to do that anymore.
Absolutely. Well, I think I'm very grateful to all of you. I'm also very grateful that I managed to get my smoked salmon sandwich as well this afternoon. Because I thought our picnic was going to be depleted this afternoon. And I thought, no, Posey hasn't got the smoked salmon industry.
You're not going to let me live this one down, are you, Ian?
Well, it's time to log off for today, which I hate to do, but we have another show coming up right after this. So, Simon, will you be with us next week?
Next week, I will be I'll be in Boston next week.
You'll be in Boston.
Yes. So as I said earlier on, if anybody of you are watching or in the Boston area, then come along to the big exhibition hall to the Boston Seafood Show. Make yourself known, and you can buy me a drink afterwards.
Will you be one of the only people in a kilt, or do you expect there'll be others?
Probably the only one wearing a kilt there, the only one brave enough to wear a kilt. I think the temperatures are still pretty low. So long as it's not too windy, then we're fine.
Well, we hope you have a fantastic trip, and we'll put your contact information in the comments. But how do people reach you? Your email?
Well, carrier pigeon, as I say, or Macdonald-Simon@ymail.com. That's MacDonaldSimon it's the letter Y mail.com.
Thank you very much, Simon.
You can send a carrier pigeon, but I don't think it would know where to go at the moment.
Especially with all that rain.
Yeah, quite. Yes. It'd have to have web feet, that's for sure.
Thank you. And Helena and Ian?
Social media, and probably actually via LinkedIn. My name, Helena, Helena, surname Chard.
And the guy next to you?
Wake him up, Helena, wake him up.
I was just trying to work out who should I be.
How many
I think, people know me, and they can always contact me through Helena or all the shows.
Please contact him directly. I also get thousands of emails, not just Ian. It's not my duty. Honestly.
The thing I'm ashamed to say is every morning I wake up and I look at the number of emails I haven't read, and I think it's come up to about 4,000 now.
You have to manage your time.
So I think the best way of contacting myself is through Helena, or basically we do have our own Facebook page as well. Which is All Global TV, and that sort of tends to we put all our shows on there as well whenever we can to do that. But it's wonderful just being part of something. So long may it continue.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I choked a little bit.
Diann, how do we get in touch with you and Flat Stanley?
Flat Stanley, thank you for having me. So you may reach me at diannboehm.com, DIANNFLOYDBOEHM.com. Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And Ian, thank you for being a guest on our show, Leadership of the Heart. That was great.
Thank you. I think I need to, the next time we can talk together, I think I need to test StreamYard on my pad
Well,
now.
I watched it. It was good, and actually you could hear Ian,
No,
even though it cut out now and then. You could hear everything you were talking about.
But you know, I think I've discovered what went wrong now. So the other night, so it was me.
Well, we'll do it again, and you all are welcome to come on the show as well. Leadership of the Heart, where we just talk about what it takes to be a leader who has a heart, and who are leaders with hearts. And it's our new show. So thank you again.
Can we just find out, Diann, who's Flat Stanley?
Oh, sure. So Flat Stanley, this is probably Flat Stanley number 3, because he was came about by us educators in technology in the late 1980s, 90s, and he travels. So this Flat Stanley is from Caddo Mills, which is in North Texas, and he is learning different parts of the world and meeting people around the world. And then the kiddos will have Flat Stanley come back home to their 3rd grade classroom, and they will fill in parts of the world globally and find out everything that Flat Stanley did and met.
Oh, I love that.
It's a fun way for young kids to fall in love with geography and meet people.
I saw they have their own Wikipedia for
yeah, they do.
Yeah. All right, folks, thank you again for being here, and look forward to seeing you next week. Simon, safe travels to you, and you'll have to report back. I wish you could report from there.
If I can find an opportune moment, because I think the show will actually be over at that time, and so I'll be sort of checking out of the hotel and getting my way to the airport. But if I can find a corner, I'll be in touch.
All right, and also if you can record while you're there, just record on your phone. Some of what you're seeing, that would be interesting.
There's a thought.
All right.
Watch the space here. If it's blank, well, you know what's happened. If you see that terrible face staring out at you, then you know, oh, here he goes again.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you watching, and whether it's on the live or the replay, it means so much. Our next show is coming up. It's fashion, travel, and fitness, and we are going to be talking to an interior decorator. I've got 12 of her photographs, which are absolutely amazing. So stay where you are, wherever you're watching us. I'll run over to the next studio, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you to Ian, Helena, Simon, and Diann. I really appreciate it. Thanks for those fabulous clips. It really helps to see what's going on and to share that with our audiences. Okay.